Hey tribe, it's Avi. I don't mean to sound dramatic, I really don't, but we have grown people business to discuss, which is a rabbit hole of redactions, nonsense, and I don't even know what else. Yeah, I know my shirt gave it away, but let's talk about these Epstein files. Okay, I'm noticing that everybody's focused on the redactions, and I'm not saying that isn't important. But the real issue is the content that isn't redacted. Because when you open these Epstein files, you start seeing documents that clearly have nothing to do with Epstein. Half of it looks like a database sitting on top of Google or something, instead of being curated for the Epstein files. I mean, celebrity bios that looks to be straight out of Wikipedia, random articles, OCR mistakes, and attachments with zero connection to Epstein. Just on and on and on. And in a dump this big, 3 million records, you have to ask, how much is evidence and how much is just noise? Or shall I say, padding? And so all of this leaves me with two conflicting thoughts. Like, if I was the press secretary for the DOJ, I would tell the press that the process explains the mess. Because this Epstein Files Transparency Act didn't tell the DOJ to clean anything. It told them to release everything responsive, even if it was messy, misfiled, or irrelevant. And considering that Epstein died before trial, nothing was ever filtered. So stepping back, the DOJ had no choice. They had to throw everything at the wall, and that's how you get 3 million unfiltered files. And then there's my other thought. The thought of what all this looks like once you're inside the files. Because when you open a document with no reference to Epstein at all, it raises a couple of questions. Like, for one, why wasn't a simple keyword filter used? And for two, is the DOJ just playing in the public faces? And for three, is this padding intentional? Maybe to bury the truth? It just feels like there's no review system, no correction process, no mechanism to say, this doesn't belong here. Seriously, how can you explain the Epstein files having what looks to be a Wikipedia bio of Queen Latifah? I guess it's one thing to be there, and it's another when the file is serialized with an official EFTA number. Like, how are people supposed to hone in on anything? 3 million unfiltered files? Yeah, that's like trying to find a truth needle in an Epstein stack. So that's where I land. Because if I'm the DOJ, I'd say there's a reason for the issues. And if I'm the public, I'd say the issue is the reason there's no real transparency in this Transparency Act. And what's crazy is I'm not sure where the DOJ goes from here. Like, do they even have the resources to tackle this thing correctly? Yeah, I don't think so. It feels like it is what it is at this point. But what do y'all think? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. All right, tribe, that's a wrap. Judging from the middle as always, Avishai, out.